right, everybody, welcome back to Double Barrel Action, episode 7. Owen and I are back, to say the least. So, haven't really got a chance to do this since opening day, but here we are.
August.
Yeah, August. That was definitely not the plan for this show.
No.
Hopefully here as we get towards back into school, the summer starts to wind down. We'll start going back to weekly if we have the chance. Well, we'll see how that goes.
I think we'll definitely have the chance now that I'm not working up in Avon.
I was gonna say Owen's been kind of pulling double duty. If you want to tell the listeners about that.
So other than working for the Tuna Mud Hens this summer, I also worked for an independent league team, the Lake Erie Crushers. And I just kind of same stuff, but a little bit more over there. And it's more of an experience. And it's weird because I play on turf over there. So I
Play on
turf my
turf.
shoe like every day.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's probably like because they're an indie league team, like you mentioned. They really play on turf. Like you just think
Yeah.
that
But
they'd play on
I want to
grass.
say the whole league does. And actually, fun fact, I think the day after my last day there, um, his name is JD Hammer. The Los Angeles Angels signed him to a contract.
JD Hammer, the former Philly and Rocky, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah. I, they did a whole little thing on the field. I saw that he had an Angels hat on. He was just all. It was cool to see because, like,
Oh, that is really cool.
yeah.
Well, the Angels also signed Daniel Murphy at an indie ball at one point this year, so that's funny.
I mean, the fact that he was in indie ball and we didn't know that.
Well, Daniel Murphy is also like 36 or 37, so that's part of
Yeah,
that.
but it was kind of cool. I mean, some of those guys down there, they're like really nice guys. Met a lot of them at the baseball camps there, and I mean, I'm wishing the best for him. We'll see. Our best hitter started the season. I think he tore his Achilles or something. And he just out the rest of the year. So
Wow.
team just kind of went downhill from there.
Yeah, these starts to happen when your best hitter goes down.
Oh yeah. But now we're back
Cool.
in Toledo, rest of the summer. I couldn't be more excited. I'm back there. I'm back doing this. I'm
Starting to
excited.
wind down. Got 4 home series left, 2 of them back to back.
I'm ready. And I'm working like every game I can.
The next 2 weeks are gonna be fun because 2 week homestand and then right back into school.
Oh yeah. And it's gonna be kind of cool because since we last talked, I mean, a lot of the top prospects for the Tigers are in Toledo. So
That's true. There's been some interesting movement since we last talked. Colt Keith, Tigers are more prospect is there now. Malloy
Winslow
and Meadows are
Perez,
both doing well. Yeah, Winfield Perez just got bumped up. So that alone, that's now for the top 11. The Tigers' new trade acquisition, who we'll talk about in a little bit, bumped Parker Meadows down to number 11.
Parker. He's been hot this year. He's always been spotty, but he looks good. I'm excited for him in Detroit.
Yeah, he looked really good in the leadoff spot. Hopefully his brother Austin, has been out since early April with anxiety issues. So wish him the best. Hopefully he can get his mental health straightened out and get it back to Detroit.
I want to see him and his brother in the same field in Big Show. That would be a story right there.
Yeah, I get my own taste of that almost daily. It's
Uh,
beautiful. Oh,
I was
that's
just
true.
no bias, but I think one of the most underrated players in Toledo, by my opinion, Donny Sands. Call him up. Don't give me that look.
Anyway,
What? Just because he challenges almost every other pitch?
no, his bat's just inconsistent.
He's a very, very nice guy. I've actually got to talk
Oh
to
yeah,
him.
Donnie's a great guy. I love Donnie, but
Love the
some
dude. I
that
introduced him to Put in Bay
really that's funny.
because he was asking us about Cedar Point, and then we just like told him about Put in Bay, and I'm not sure if he's been or not, but he knows about it. And if he goes, I want an invite.
Donnie goes golfing like every day. I swear.
He live streamed it.
He live streamed his golf.
I mean, I follow him on Instagram. I'm
So do
following that
I.
dude the rest of his career.
I mean, I really like Donny. I watched him in Fido down Double A today. I watched that on my computer.
They're only there for one day, aren't they? Just because they thought the whole
Yeah,
Erod trade was going on.
yeah. Well, and I guess Jake Rogers was getting thrown around too, which is why Downey was there.
Donnie to the show. We need it. I want his jersey.
No, you just want to get rid of Eric Haas.
I don't want to say I don't want to get rid of him. I mean, I like Eric Haas. I just think moving on might be the best thing for him. I personally thought the Angels should have got him, but I love Eric Haas just because he's a native.
Oh yeah, I think if you guys traded either one, I think it would have been Rogers. I mean,
Yeah,
14 home runs. That'll play.
he had one today too. Pinch hit home run.
Oh, did he? Oh, it was pinch hit.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was like his first major league career pinch hit home run.
Also
Interesting.
happens when you only have like 30 career home runs.
You know who else had a home run today? Riley
Oh,
Green.
everyone flex the new bobblehead. Ay.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Riley Green is a dog. I mean, he's batting 300 right now.
That's true. Right, Riley Green he is the law in Detroit. Without him, they are a lost franchise.
Hey now, hey now.
No,
We got Javi
no.
Baez. Just kidding.
I was gonna say who swings at a freaking tumbleweed. Yeah, let's.
Oh man, it's so painful to watch him hit. It really, really is.
It's
Tor
rough.
Torkelson, honestly, he's having a better year than last year. I mean, Powers there is just kind of consistently hitting is his problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think Torkelson's develops really nicely. I mean, he's leading the team in home runs, so that alone shows you that the bat's starting to play more. I mean, yes, they brought in the fences in America, but bat still plays, which is a good thing. I mean, that's what you want to see from a number one pick.
I mean, the most underrated player on that team right now, though, Tyler Holton. Tyler Holton, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
think gets
he's been
enough
good.
respect.
No, he's been really good, especially
I
for
mean,
a waiver claim. Like
yeah,
he's been impressive.
he was in Toledo for like all of a split second, and he went up like I want to say, if I remember correctly, they called him up one night. The
I
next
can tell
day, he's
you.
pitching.
Well, where is it? He was called up on April 15th and never came back.
As he should. I mean, his ERA was sub 2 for like the longest time.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
he's been really good.
Honestly, is it still sub 2 or is it above it now?
I have no clue.
I know he
Let
got
me
his first
look.
major league career save today.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Well, lying about blew it.
Well, that's about normal.
I mean, at least my team didn't get no hit yesterday.
Well, you know what? The Astros are really good. So
Yes, in 54 and 2/3 innings, Tyler Holton has a 1.98 ERA
wow.
with a whip of 0.95 and 49 strikeouts.
I mean, he's been really good.
Yeah, and he's young too. He's like almost not quite 30 yet.
Yeah, something like that.
But ugh, feels good to be back. It really does.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I gotta remember how to breathe in front of a microphone.
On top of that, us wearing both wearing gray hoodies right now.
I live in this hoodie. I like we're on the road and I don't go anywhere. I'm always in this hoodie.
Which one
Tyler
is it?
Holton is 27. It's the Mudhens Marvel one.
I was like, I'm wearing my Toledo. It says Toledo, Ohio. This one
Um,
is so cozy. I like that one too. This is like honestly, I could take a nap in it right now. It's like the
oh
most
yeah,
hoodie I've ever worn.
yeah. I chill around the house in this one. So I mean, we're already kind of talking about it. The Tigers this season. We talked about Holton, talked about Green. What do you like this year? What haven't you liked?
I haven't liked the injury bug again. Um, our pitching's been hit or miss. Javi's been Javi. I mean, it's hard to be upset about it, but He can be. I loved Riley Green. He's looked good. I'm loving the progression of Torque, even though people get upset to average, but I love it. I wish we did more of the trade deadline. I did like the Lorenzen
Well,
move.
we'll get into the trade deadline. We'll get into the trade
I know.
deadline.
I'm just overall. I just wish we did more. I really did. Um, Other than that, I mean, I personally believe we would have our record was going to be a lot worse than what it is. The fact that we're only 7 games out of first place seems like a
Yeah.
lot, but I mean, with how hurt we've been and how the season started in the first month, it looked bad.
Yeah.
But what about you with the Guardians? How you feeling?
I mean, like we're in the division race for 2.5 back, but we're also 3 games under 500. We're in a really weird spot. We made some interesting moves at the trade deadline, which I'll talk about not only here more in depth when we get to it, but also have to talk about it on the other podcast, the main podcast, Hot Take Sports, episode 100. That one's coming up. Recording
Good
that
one,
tomorrow.
Hondo. All
Recording that
right.
tomorrow. But yeah, the Guardians are just in a weird spot. I mean, I really like seeing Naylor's improvement. That's been a big play for us.
Playing
Just
with his brother too. That's cool.
yeah. After the years of subpar catchers, Bo Naylor is finally in the bigs. The bat plays. It's just still coming around. The defense definitely plays, which it's really nice to have a catcher that can do both.
But you're telling me you don't
Um,
miss Mike Zunino?
no, we're finally letting the young guys play more. Like Miles started to play today. Curious to see where that is going to be going forward. Just because I mean we gave him a 5-year extension before the season, which yeah. Um yeah, I mean we didn't really do a whole lot of adding at the trade deadline, but
A lot more subtracting.
well, yeah. Not quite the adding we were anticipating, but I mean the
It
Twins
doesn't
didn't
help that
do
you're.
anything. The Twins didn't do anything, so I guess in essence we did more than them. I don't know.
I mean, I think you guys did it. I think you guys kind of built more for your future. But I mean, you guys have depth. So I mean,
Oh yeah, we're gonna be good.
your pitching being hurt most of the year kind of really hurt you guys and set you back. So
I still think we win the division. I don't think it's gonna be by much. Honestly, we might win less than 90 games, but I still think we can and probably will end up winning the division.
also, fun fact: while working for the Lake Erie Crushers, I got to meet Tristan McKenzie.
Really?
He actually came to one of our games because he played for the Lake County Captains with Todd Isaacs Jr., who's one of the players on the Crushers.
Oh, that's really dope.
Came up and he had to come to the box office and get his ticket. So
Because do I know you?
I met Tristan McKenzie. How can I help you? What's your name? Tristan McKenzie? Ah, you're mid.
Never disrespect Tristan like that.
He's good. I'll give him that. He's no hobby bias though. He's not a goat.
Oh, I guess the my baseball trip wasn't a thing last time we did this. So my brothers, my dad, and I took a little 5-day trip around the Midwest. Went to some games.
I was
Got
jealous.
to got to experience Bush. Went to St. Louis, Kaufman. Uh, got to Globe Life in Dallas, the new stadium, super nice. Minute Maid Park in Houston, and then got to go to Atlanta, Truist. All those places, super nice.
Didn't you get to see Ellie De La Cruz play live too?
I did. That was in Kansas City.
I
Kansas City
mean,
has some fire brisket.
that's a heck of a trip. I won't lie, because
Oh,
I haven't
it
stayed
was good.
about making a trip next season. I want to look into that.
Yeah, my dad and I are kind of plotting maybe another one. I don't know. I've kind of pitched a couple ideas. He goes, "Well, you gotta find a job first. Then we'll go from there." I'm like, yeah, that's probably true.
That is valid. Yeah, no, I want to go traveling. I one thing I want to do before this season ends, I gotta go see Miggy play a couple more times.
Yeah.
And, man, the fact that it's almost over with this season and Miggy's about to be done, hasn't set in yet.
Yeah, he didn't play when I went up the other night. So I was like,
No.
well, yeah, I think he was the only guy that didn't play because they emptied their bench at the end of the game because I went to extras
What game we're talking about?
Tuesday night against the Angels.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Tigers
Um,
had the unbelievable comeback in the ninth inning only to lose.
Classic.
I
Uh,
wasn't surprised. Oh, the comeback surprised me.
yeah. All right. Since working for Toledo Mud Hens, this just came to my mind. Out of all the players you've seen in Toledo, which one has excited you the most that you kind of want to see in the big league?
Like for the Mud Hens or just in general?
He's on the Mud. We'll do Mud Hens and then we'll do a Guardian. But for us, Mud Hens, just because we get to see him play live.
For Mud Hens, I think mine's definitely going to be Malloy. I really like Malloy, both as a person and a player. Super nice
I,
guy, and
oh
the
yeah,
the bat plays. Um, Defense, that could come around a little bit. He leads the team in errors right now, but the bat definitely plays. And then, oh, for an opponent, or Christian Encarnacion Strand, he's already in the majors, but that dude can
yeah,
swing the bat for the Reds.
oh yeah. If I
The
had to
the
pick
Reds are going to be
one,
good for a while.
I wanted to say Malloy too, but actually I want to switch mine up. I'm
No,
not gonna
you
say
can still say it.
I won't say Donny Sands, even though I really want to. No, I'm gonna make it just. I think mine's obvious. I'm excited for Cole Keith.
Oh yeah,
I'm ready to see him. I'm ready for Jay Young to be up. I see he's been doing well in Erie, but I think Cole
yeah. He's
Keith.
only
I've
been there for like
had
a week.
talked to him. He's a nice guy as well. Parker's a nice guy, but
Yeah, I feel like especially me like working with the PI. Like, I feel like I've gotten to talk to the team more this year. I feel like last year was kind of just like in and out, do whatever. But like more people have been like getting interviewed this year, so I've gotten to interact with more different people, so which
yeah, it's
which has been nice.
kind of cool. Been doing the Jersey auctions and can go down there.
Oh yeah, you interact with some of the players, but
I enjoy doing it. It's kind of cool, especially like when I walk in there and like they're just having cheery conversations and they're all just having a good time and it's cool to see like because like all the expectations as a player on the field like people expect me to do good like it's I guess seeing them as not just a person just like
yeah,
them being themselves it's kind of cool seeing that
yeah, I completely agree.
because I hate the fact that they have all this pressure on them which understandably so being a Tigers fan I know what the pressure's
Oh
like
well, yeah,
for them but being able to go down there and just hear them joking around and stuff it's kind of cool.
yeah. It's always cool getting to see the guys be the guys.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I mean, one of my favorite ones, underrated favorite ones that I know he just got called up, Trey Wingenter. He is such a funny guy when I went there because he talked to me and stuff for a little bit. Funny
Yeah,
guy. I wish him the best up there. I think he's still up in Detroit.
yeah. I think yeah. 'Cause he replaced Lorenzen, but I mean yeah, Trey's a big league vet. He's got 5 years of service time. Like he's gonna go up. He's gonna do the job.
I'm excited. But,
Yeah,
but speaking of Lorenzen, let's dig into this deadline stuff. I
big
guess.
end of the trade deadline. We'll dive right into it since we're already talking about it.
Can we
Michael
go?
Lorenzen to the Phillies for infield prospect Hao-Yu Lee. He was the Phillies' number 5 prospect. He's a infielder, mostly middle. Now he's Tigers number 6. Owen, your thoughts?
I'm buying his jersey. Sold.
I believe that.
It's just I don't want to use the word weird. I think it's awesome. I mean, he's a good prospect from the Lorenzo on a 1 year deal, but if you really think about it, when's the last time the Tigers had a player from like Taiwan or Japan or anywhere over there?
I saw something about that, and I can't remember what it was now. I should have held on to it.
Like, I think it's awesome. I hope he comes to Toledo soon. I want to see the guy.
Well,
I'm
he's currently
excited.
in A ball, so I'm not really sure if we'll see him this year. But
If I have any say, I'm calling him up now.
well, if you have any say, Ryan LeVar is a Hall of Famer. So
Oh, LeBron. Oh, we're going back to LeVar right
yeah,
now. My boy. I'm
I went back to look and see what episode this was going to be, and I saw the title of LeVar Way is better than Fools, and I was like,
my boy now is Donny Sands. My fantasy football league team name is the Donny Sands Fan Club. All in on Donny.
you just got to ask Donnie to be in your fantasy football league. Then it's fine.
I wish. Honestly, I would love to go down and sit down with. If I could pick one player right now in majors or minors to say have a beer with, Donny Sands.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a really good one, honestly.
He's a vibe. He is. I honestly, he's such a cool
Faedo's
dude.
a good one. I really like Faedo. Faedo's a dude.
He is. He's a man.
Or Sean Gunther. I like Sean Gunther too. Oh, and Gunther came from Miami, so like hilarious.
How does being from Miami make him hilarious?
I got him to do first pitch one time, and he was like, "Oh wow, big crowd tonight," and it was like a Tuesday night, and I was like, "Are you used to this?" He goes, "I did play in Miami," and I was like, "Well, that's true."
At least he didn't play in Oakland. I mean, heck, there's no fans there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
All right, hit me with another trade. Everyone you want to go to?
Oh, the Tigers added a D. Leonard for cash. He's now the number 22 prospect for the
I like it.
Tigers. He's reporting straight to Toledo. He hasn't played above Double A yet, so his action with the Buttons will be his first in Triple A.
He's an infielder, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
That's
So
exciting.
one of the Detroit reporters said, "Outfielder D. Leonard, sir, he's played hasn't played anything but shortstop this year. Like literally, like not even a different infield spot. He's only played shortstop this year
I mean,
for
we could
Tulsa.
test him out in the corner outfield. I mean,
I
we did it
mean,
with Boy.
I think that's Muller's path to the majors. I think they're gonna keep Colt Keith as the third baseman.
Yeah. And then I think Jay Young will be our second baseman.
Yeah,
But no, I'm excited to see him. I mean, he's 22, and the fact that we got him for cash, like that, I
yeah.
think
That
it's a
was
steal because his numbers weren't horrible in Double A. Was it Tulsa or not Tulsa? I forget. Yeah,
Yeah, it was Tulsa. Here, let me
is it
look.
Tulsa? But
His numbers at Tulsa were
was it?
254, 11 homers, 44 RBI, with 20 doubles, a triple, 29 walks, and 85 strikeouts.
You could cut down on the strikeouts, but
Yeah, 20 doubles is pretty solid though for half a season.
yeah. So I'm hoping AAA Toledo. He just starts rocking. The only thing that bums me out about the Tigers deadline trades was I was hoping I didn't expect like a top guy like an Andrew Painter, but I was
Oh
hoping
yeah.
for like a pitching prospect. But we'll ride out right now.
Well, and if Erod didn't want to go because Erod's gonna stay in Detroit. He's gonna opt in the rest of the way.
Which I mean, him saying that because he came out and said it has me excited. Because at first, when the whole thing he vetoed it, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" The Tigers have prospects. We could have got something." But knowing he's committed to the Tigers kind of has me excited. See what it takes. Because if he's all in on the Tigers, we can't go rebuild. I mean, we have Erod
Oh
locked up,
yeah.
and if we can stay healthy and get a rotation back and have Erod, Screwball, Manning, Mize, figure out that fifth spot.
Reese Olson.
Reese, I think Joy Wentz will go to the bullpen. Uh, bums me out to say, but
Yeah. Well, Wentz has been a little underwhelming this year, which is sad to say because like I've met Joe. I really like him.
yeah,
It hasn't pitched well in Detroit this year.
which is a bummer. How about them Guardians at the deadline?
Yes, the Cleveland Guardians. They made some interesting moves for sure. Like you mentioned, definitely looking more towards the future. We traded a Med Rosario to the Dodgers for Noah Syndergaard. Syndergaard started on Monday. He pitched really well, but he had to leave the game after 5 1/3 shutout because he took a ball off of the leg. We traded Aaron Savali to Tampa Bay for Kyle Manzardo, top 40 prospect in all of baseball,
That
second
was a
best
good
first
trade.
base prospect. He rakes, and I really like Aaron Savali. I always have, but for the amount of times he gets injured, moving him at his highest value was the right move.
Wasn't he on his last year too?
No, no, he still has 2 years left after this.
Ow.
Yeah, he is. There's a lot of control, which is part of why we were able to get Manzardo.
Makes sense.
And then, as part of getting Manzardo, our president of baseball ops, Chris Antonetti, said that Manzardo will most likely be our starting first baseman next year because Manzardo's he's 23, he's already in AAA. He got drafted 2 years ago. We traded Josh Bell to the Marlins, which is really good for us. He was owed $16.5 million on a player option next year. Kind of like the signing of Mike Zunino. It just really didn't work out for us. Just wanted to cut bait, so we picked up a 2021 first round pick in Khalil Watson. He's a shortstop, which mind
You guys need
boggling.
those.
I don't know why we always pick up shortstops, but we also picked up Gene Segura in that trade. We also did cut Gene Segura like within 10 minutes of making the deal official.
He's my favorite Cleveland Guardian of all time.
I prefer Pablo Sandoval because Pablo Sandoval was the first. Did you know that?
Did not.
The day they announced the name change, they traded Eddie Rosario to the Braves for Pablo Sandoval and cut him.
Legend.
So I dubbed Pablo Sandoval the very first Cleveland Guardian
So
because it
overall,
fits.
if you had to grade your guys' team deadline A to an F, what are you grading yours?
I'm gonna say A minus because I really like Manzardo, I really like Watson. Other than Watson has some maturity issues, made a threatening gesture at an umpire about a month ago. So there's that. Um, I like taking a flyer on Syndergaard. I mean, he pitched well in his first outing with us. I'm just looking forward to seeing him eat innings. I mean, our rookie pitching staff's been really good this year. Bobby Williams, especially Logan Allen's been kind of in and out. But I'm happy with our deadline. Honestly, most people aren't happy with our deadline, just because
A minus.
none of them were contending moves really, other than I guess adding Syndergaard. But it is what it is. I'm happy with it. I think we're gonna be good next year.
Oh, man, that's a higher grade than I thought you were going to say. I'm giving the Tigers a solid C. It wasn't horrible. Could have been better. But I like the fact that getting that number 5 prospect for a rental and then Eddie's Leonard. I'm excited. I think one team that made a lot of moves that honestly shocked me was the Angels.
Well, they got to buy to try to keep Otani
When they first came
from.
out and said they wanted to keep him, and then all the moves they made, which they made some good moves. They really did.
They've added 7 major league players since June 23rd.
All
Three
I
of
know is
them,
it
three of them play corner infield.
hurt a lot. My favorite
Oh yeah,
move
they have
that I don't.
17 players on the injured list.
How about Lucas Giolito giving up 9 earned runs today? I don't know if you saw it, but he got raked
When was this?
today against Atlanta. They torched
Well,
him.
that's Atlanta though. I mean,
I mean,
everybody gets
still.
torched by Atlanta. Let me look at this. Oh,
I
they
mean,
started Crone. All right.
they started a rookie today too. Actually, started their 2018 first round pick today. Adams, center fielder. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
three
yeah,
and
yeah. Made his debut.
Lucas Giolito, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 9 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, gave up 3 home runs.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, he got Jaime Barria came in and pitched longer in relief. Yanni
Uh,
Chirinos for the Braves. Wow, what a guy. Got the win. Yeah, the Braves are gonna win it all. And if it's not them, it's gonna be the Texas Rangers. That's gonna be the World Series. Is Rangers Braves.
that'd be a
Book
good
it.
World Series.
It would be. But yeah, the Rangers made some strong moves too. But I mean, we'll finish off the Angels here before we dive into other teams. Picked up Eduardo Escobar and Mike Moustakas in separate trades. Um, they added Giolito and Reynaldo Lopez from the White Sox. They gave up their number 2 and number 3 prospects for Giolito and Lopez,
It
which
was 1 and 2.
or the Angels give up their 2 and 3.
When I looked, it was 1 and 2.
No, it was 2 and 3. Edgar Caro and Kai Bush.
Who's their
They were
number
the
one?
Hoppy.
Well,
At least last I looked, he was.
although Hobby was out of, I think he's played enough games where he's not our prospect no more.
No, because he got hurt like 2 weeks into the season. He's just been on the injured list.
Uh, Well,
I
still,
mean, look,
two of their top three prospects for that.
yeah, exactly. Yes,
I
Hoppy
mean,
is still the number 1 prospect, by the way.
that just shows you how desperate the Los Angeles Angels are.
What did you say? They are mortgaging their future. Well, because they weren't done. They traded like the number 8 prospect, Jake Madden, and another top 30 prospect for Randall Grichuk and CJ Crone. And they
I
traded
like.
Jeremiah Jackson, who I think was also top 30 prospect.
I personally love the Crone and Grichuk Randall Grichuk. But I love that trade so much because I remember Crone in Detroit before he got hurt. He just breaks. He just absolutely tears
Yeah,
the crap out of a baseball. And I personally think it's. I mean, they want to keep Otani. Will they keep Otani? I don't. I think he leaves.
they gotta find somebody to take Anthony Rendon's contract, man.
They really shot themselves in the foot.
I mean, they're gonna have a bunch of money coming off, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough to keep Otani. I mean,
I mean, I
let's look
think he
at the
gets at least
numbers
seven
here.
hundred million.
No, they're not going to go that high just because it'll literally change the sport dramatically. And if
He
they're going to do
has
700,
changed the sport dramatically.
but well, I know that. But if it's going to be 700 million, it's going to have to be like 13 years. He's only probably going to pitch and hit for another 5, if that. So
I think he's
they're
worth it.
gonna
All the
they're
money.
gonna. You think paying Shohei Otani to pitch and hit till he's 43 is a good idea? I'll pay him to do both till he's
And Juan
35.
Uribe's saying yes.
I'll pay him to pitch and hit till he's like 34, 35. But after that, you gotta just hit, man. Your arm's not gonna hold up like that.
They're all saying yes, dude. They're all
Bro,
saying yes.
Anthony Rendon is owed $38.5 million every year until after the 2026 season.
It is what it is. But
They gotta find somebody to take that, right? 3 years
Zig
left.
Rendon.
So as you know, we are Hot Take Sports. So we enjoy sports in general. Brady, what was your favorite sporting event you've ever been to?
I would have to say probably the playoff game between the Guardians and the Yankees at the end of last season in the playoffs.
Oh, good one. Isaac?
Browns Bills.
Browns Bills. Leo?
Yeah, my favorite one was this Crew home opener this year, being front row, witnessing the magic of Lucas Zelleron.
Great time with the boys. Clayton?
One of my personal favorites from the last year was my dad and I went to Milwaukee to watch the Dodgers play the Brewers. Got a new stadium off the list. Sat first row right field. Sweet.
Nice. Home run ball?
Over me. I watched Freddie Freeman hit one directly over my head.
So
And
close.
Mookie Betts played catch right next to me, so that was kind of cool.
That's sweet.
Got on
That's
ESPN.
Right, you're on ESPN.
That is true.
We, as a group, went to a Timberwolves Cavaliers game in Cleveland earlier this year, so that was super fun. And you know what every single one of those events has in common?
What would that be, Matt?
We used code HTS at SeatGeek to get $20 off our purchase.
Exactly. There's nothing better than saving money and supporting your favorite content creators, being Hot Take Sports. Make sure to use code HTS next time you check out at SeatGeek. Tickets not only for sporting events, but concerts, comedy shows, really anything that requires tickets. Summer is coming. All of your favorite events are coming up this summer, so make sure to use code HTS at SeatGeek for $20 off of your first purchase.
But yeah, someone just gotta take Anthony Rendon some money if they're gonna keep Shohei. Like
Yeah,
there's
what I
not really
was
any other way.
yeah, what I was saying though, I think one team that honestly, if I'm them, just take the contract. I mean, because it could be a trade value chip. The Athletics.
Athletics that's more than the Athletics entire team makes, right?
I know, but think about though, if they were to take his contract and if he has a bounce back season, they could trade him because they're going to still be rebuilding. I know they
No,
don't want to
because
spend the money.
no, not only would they not double their payroll, they would have to send cash to get him back out of Oakland, especially with how injury prone he's been. They are not going to do that.
No, who else is going to want him? Who else is going to take a chance on this
That's
player?
that's the problem. That's the Angels' problem.
All right, the Guardians, give him the money. Bring me my
Guardian
money.
Guardians don't have that kind of money either.
I think you guys, honestly,
Watch the Mets do it. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, what's a fair trade? Jose Ramirez, 1-for-1 for Anthony Rendon. Fair.
We're ending this podcast.
Fair deal.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, the Angels made contending moves. Uh, Another team that made contending moves in the AL West. Actually, there's two teams that made contending moves in the AL West. The Astros picked up Kendall Graveman from the White Sox for Corey Lee. Then they traded their top two prospects to the Mets for Justin Verlander. Bringing back JV to H-Town. Owen, what do you think of that?
I want him back in Detroit. No, but what I'm most excited for though is I really, really want to see Verlander versus Scherzer, Houston versus Texas. That's gonna be a duel.
It's coming up, baby. The best comparison I saw about the Mets trading Verlander to Houston and Scherzer to Texas is when the Joker snapped the pool cue in half and told those two guys to fight it out to the death. That's
Literally.
basically what that is. Yeah, because the Rangers they went out, added Max Scherzer, added Aroldis Chapman, Jordan Montgomery, Chris Stratton from St. Louis,
Yeah, it's so much.
and they added Austin Hedges, Cleveland legend.
Well, it's because Jonah
So
Heim's out for a while.
yeah, which it made sense. I mean, it made sense for the Pirates to move Austin Hedges, even if it was only for international bonus money, still made sense to move him. But yeah,
I mean, I'm just bummed that Verlander's not back in Detroit.
well, I'm not even sure if Verlander will go to the Hall of Fame as a Tiger now. So
That's messed up. That's messed up to say, dude.
is it? Verlander's been
Nah,
so good with Houston. Like,
yeah, but don't talk about it, dude.
I think he goes in as an Astro, and I don't even think it's a hot take.
I just say it.
I did have to say, I gotta put it out there.
Or
So that
Donny
way,
Sanders.
nine years from now, when he's finally Hall of Fame eligible after he retires in 2027,
Donny Sands will be a Hall of Famer himself too. Saying.
that is a hot take. Isn't Donny Sands like 24, 25?
I think he's older than that.
I think he's 26, actually. I mean, Donny Sands is 27.
He's a Hall of Famer. That's all I'm saying. He's a goat. Yeah, I won't
Yes,
say
sir.
goat, but he's good. I think he deserves a shot. Fun fact: he is a Boston Red Sox fan.
And he was a Yankees prospect. Well, that about sums that.
He's from Arizona. He's a Red Sox fan.
Hey,
Got to
man.
know the man.
Oh, of course.
Got to know my new best friend.
Yeah. I mean, let's kind of just dive through this here. The Orioles added Jack Flaherty from the Cardinals, picked up Shintaro Fujinami from the Athletics.
Much
Just kind of
needed.
trying to add pitching there. The Red Sox added a couple prospects. They moved Enrique Hernandez to the Dodgers. And then they picked up Luis Urias from Milwaukee, which I thought was an interesting move. Probably just one of those change of sceneries. The big surprise of the deadline, the Yankees did nothing.
I know. I love there's a meme of Brian Cashman just like, what's he doing during the deadline? And it's like a video of him like just zipping up his sleeping bag.
Yeah. Yeah, they added Spencer Howard from the Rangers for cash considerations and picked up Keenan Middleton from the White Sox. The Rays, which I already touched on, the Savali for Manzardo deal. They picked up a couple arms in Adrian Sampson and Manny Rodriguez from the Cubs, and they got minor league catcher Alex Jackson from the Brewers. The Blue Jays apparently only had John Mozeliak's number for the most part. 3 of their 4 additions were Cardinals players.
Old and
Uh,
young.
Genesis Cabrera, Jordan Hicks, and Paul DeYoung, all in 3 separate trades, no less.
I mean, you like what they're offering, you take it. You see
Yeah, I mean,
one trade you didn't mention. Well, apparently it's not the Rays, but it is the Rays. Luis Patino,
yeah, that's what I was just gonna get to. He got moved for cash considerations, which is why I was
which
waiting.
blows my mind because I want to say at one point he was a top prospect.
Yeah, he pitched in the Futures game in 2019, so I was
That's
there
what I
for it.
thought. So
Yeah, I mean, he got dealt to the Rays with Francisco Mejia. I think it was part of the Blake Snell trade. He just really just dropped off.
I know, but I mean, hopefully he can find his way. Well, take that back. Hope he doesn't find his way with the White
I hope he
Sox.
finds his way after the White Sox move on from him. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
The whole Jake Burger situation. Thank God he's out of the AL Central.
First off, I completely agree. Secondly, Miami is offering offered $5 burgers tonight to celebrate Jake Burger arriving. Their cheeseburgers are normally $13. They offered $5 burgers tonight, which was elite. Also, Josh Bell had a home run with the Marlins tonight.
Are you salty
For
about that?
I am. He barely he hit I think he hit 10 in Cleveland, but like your first game in Miami, you just happened to go yard. Like, come on, man.
Man,
Yeah,
oh man. I'm just
they're
happy
talking
Jake
about
Burger is
Cleveland.
gone, baby.
Speaking of Jake Burger, the White Sox. The White Sox, I mean, 4th place team, they kicked it into rebuild. We already talked about Giolito and Renato Lopez. They traded away Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly. We talked about Kendall Graveman going to the Astros. Talked about Middleton and kind of touched on Jake Burger. We'll dive into a little bit more. Jake Burger terrorizes the AL Central all the time. I'm very curious to see how he plays though, because his road stats are not great. 17 of his 24 home runs were home.
Oh, he's in Miami. He's gonna be at 30 home runs very soon. Not that I really care because all I care about is he's not killing the Tigers every game.
Yeah, he torches the Guardians every time they play.
I mean,
However,
that's fine.
the White Sox did bring back an old face. He's also an old face from Toledo, Trace Thompson, back to Chicago. It's part of the Lance Lynn deal. Yeah, I like what the White Sox did. I like what they added. Like we mentioned, 2 of the Angels' top 3 prospects. Formerly the Astros' top prospect in Corey Lee, former Futures game participant Luis Patino. That was for cash. I mean, and then Jake Eater, which trading some dude named Eater for some dude named Burger, hilarious.
Did not know that.
I like Eater too. We'll see where that goes. We talked about the Tigers. The Royals rebuilt. Actually, they rebuilt less than the White Sox.
They didn't really do much I mean, they got rid of Scott Barlow.
Yeah, they traded Scott Barlow to the Padres. I'm not really sure who all they got back for that because like I kept seeing like they were getting 2 players and then they only ever like announced the one. So, but like it wasn't the player we named later, so I'm really not sure. Uh, yeah, I know nothing about the guy that got back from Barlow. Ryan Yarbrough brought back 2 infielders from the Dodgers. They picked up Tucker Davidson for cash. They traded Jose Cuas, famously the delivery driver during the pandemic. Picked up Nelson Velasquez from the Cubs for him. They dealt longtime infielder Nicky Lopez to the
The
Braves.
Braves.
Brought back Taylor Hearn, and they picked up a couple guys from the Rangers for Oldest Chapman. And
I
then
mean, they
Twins' little move was Dylan Floro for Jorge Lopez.
are.
Yeah.
I
What are
don't
you gonna say
know.
about the Royals?
I don't mind the move. My favorite one they got was Nelson Velasquez, what his name is.
Yeah,
Isn't he like 22 and he's an outfielder? Like he's got some pop in his bat, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. He's looked a few home runs for the Iowa Cubs.
All right. What I wanted to try and do, I was trying to like I pulled up the White Sox top 30 prospects. They kind of wanted to see where everyone went.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 7 guy. You know, like most of the guys they traded, Corey Lee's 14. A lot of
Yeah.
those guys are in the top 10, top 20.
I guess the guy that the Royals got for Barlow is their number 9 prospect now, I guess.
Is he? He's cool.
Yeah. And they got their 26 full as part of the Yarbrough trade. So the Royals really didn't do much, and their farm system's not good.
Well, most of their prospects are already up already, like MJ Melendez, Bobby Witt.
The Royals are going to have a Tiger-esque length of a rebuild, and they've still been bad since after they won the World Series.
I've always stopped talking about the Tigers, dude. Touchy subject, man.
Oh, I'm aware. Don't worry.
Once Colt Keith, Justin Henry Malloy, Jace Young get up there. Guardians pitching better watch out. Kabang.
I'm not sure the Guardians pitching is all that worried. At least not currently.
I mean, the
Oh my
future Hall of
God.
Fame Detroit Tiger, How You Lee, is better come up and rake, baby.
Bro, the Cubs have absolutely smacked it down on the Reds the last 2 nights. They put
They
up
scored like
20
20
runs
runs
last
yesterday.
night, and they currently have 15 today.
The Reds are on a downfall.
Reds are kind of tapering off. The Reds didn't really do anything, but I'll get to that. The one move the Reds did make was picking up Sam Maul from the Athletics. The Athletics
Horrible.
also sent out Jace Peterson to the Diamondbacks along with Fujinami, who we already mentioned. And then we already talked about the Angels, Astros, and Rangers. The Mariners kind of sold. I mean, they sold
Yeah,
Pollock. They traded Paul Sewald, which I liked their return for Sewald. They got Rojas, Canzoni, and Ryan Bliss from the Diamondbacks. I like that return.
I like it, but also it's kind of like, I mean, you really, I don't, they're not throwing in the towel because obviously if they're doing that, they're getting rid of Jose.
Yeah.
Julio. Wow.
No, they paid Julio. Julio would be there for a long term anyway.
I know. I'm just saying though, like if they really want to go full rebuild, I feel like because Julio, you could get deal for.
Well, yeah, but Julio was who they would center their rebuild around.
Or trade Julio.
I
Personally,
know
if
they
I
would. To them, trading Julio would be like if the Angels had traded young Mike Trout. Obviously,
my,
Julio doesn't have like the accolades or anything like that Mike Trout did, but like to the Mariners, that would be the same thing.
I mean, well, all right. Sure. Question: since we're in the AL West,
Okay.
could you, knowing Julio, the potential, what he's already done, Mike Trout, the accolades, what he's already done, the MVPs, all that is, but take into consideration his age and his injury prone as of late. Do you think the trade value for both of them is the same? Is one more than the other? Is one
No,
you think a trade for Mike Trout is worth more than a trade for Julio Rodriguez?
no.
You think Julio is worth more than Mike Trout?
I do. Julio is younger, half the price, and way less injury prone. Now, don't get me wrong. Mike Trout is one of the best players in all of baseball. He always has been, ever since he debuted. But the problem is as Mike Trout gets older, he continues to get hurt even more, and he's also making $37 million through 2030. As
Go.
to where Julio Rodriguez is currently 22. He's making $6 million this year, and between now and 2029, the most he's making is $20 million.
Hmm.
So I
I mean,
absolutely think that Julio has more trade value than Mike Trout does.
if it was the Mets would give all top 30 prospects for Mike Trout.
Oh man,
But all right, we'll move on. We'll move on. You think Julio is better than Mike Trout? It's cool.
I did not say that. So he has more trade value, which is definitely true.
I guess. I don't know. I I guess it just for me depends on what a team is like looking for. Like if you're, I mean, not no diss on Julio. I think what you're saying is mostly right, but I'm feeling knowing. Let's just say Mike Trout could stay healthier. I think he'd be worth more to a contending team than Julio.
Well, I mean, yeah, if if this was only the show and there were no injuries, I would take Mike Trout.
Just because I feel like
But
Julio, like he's been having a lot of downfall. Like he's up and down.
yeah, but you also have Mike Trout until he's age 39. Like,
I mean, I'd take it. You can end up putting him at DH.
you think Mike Trout's still going to be able to DH every day at 39?
Nelson Cruz did pretty much.
Mike Trout can barely stay healthy now, and he's 32. Literally just turned 32.
Because they keep playing him in the outfield.
Where else do you wanted to play him? They can't DH. They got Shohei, and Mike Trout's the one who won't even move to the corner outfield spot. If if you put Mike Trout in a corner outfield spot, he can stay so much healthier. He'll have to run less. He'll have to make less plays. He can stay healthier very easily.
First base.
Play first base.
Just full on let him learn it.
We're moving on. Diving into the NL East.
Wine Uribe agrees.
That's all Juan Uribe can do. The Braves picked up a couple of relievers, Pierce Johnson and Brad Hand. They also picked up infielder Nicky Lopez. Fun fact, Brad Hand, once he appears in the game for Atlanta, will be the first player in MLB history to appear for all 5 NL East teams.
Did not know that. That's actually very interesting.
Yeah, I saw that
yesterday. Right,
because like you see a lot with like the AL East and the NL West. You see that a lot. But I guess it's never happened before for the NL East. The Marlins bought, which like I get trying to go for it, but it's really interesting to see how that goes. Jorge Lopez, David Robertson, Jake Berger, Josh Bell, like definitely contending moves. I don't know if that's going to be enough to get them to the playoffs.
I think it's just kind of a push right now, to try and push for the playoffs, but also give more time for their prospects down there, just to have more time the rest of the year. I mean, it's like why the Tigers are holding Malloy down there. Like, you want to keep him down for longer service time.
Well, but no, that's irrelevant at this point. The service time thing is only after 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks of the season is the service time manipulation. Everything after that, it doesn't matter. A lot of people are saying that about Bo Naylor. No, April 15th is like, well, that's Chris Bryant got called up on April 15th, and that's how he got manipulated service time wise. After April 15th, it does not matter. It's not manipulation anymore.
All right, I'll take your word on it.
I did a whole college presentation over it. I was just talking about this with one of my other friends yesterday. For my sports ethics class, I did a presentation over service time manipulation. So I actually have done research on it. So I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about at least.
All right, fine. We'll move on from Miami.
We'll go to the Mets, who probably rebuilt the hardest. I mean,
literally,
we've pretty much talked about most of the guys they've traded for the most part. Moved on from Eduardo Escobar, Mark Canha, Tommy Pham, Verlander, Scherzer, Dominic Leone went to the Angels. And they replenished their farm system really nicely. I mean, Marco Vargas became a top 10 prospect. Luis Angel Acuna became was their top prospect for like a minute and a half.
Honestly, did not realize Ronald Acuna had a brother in the
Yeah.
majors. That's kind of
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
So let's look at this. So from the trade deadline, the Mets have added their number 2 prospect and Luis Angel Acuna, Drew Gilbert at number 4, and Ryan Clifford at number 6. That was the Verlander trade. Marco Vargas at number 9 from Miami. Justin Jarvis, who is now their number 15. They got him for Mark Canha. Coleman Crow at 16, who they got for Eduardo Escobar. Ronald Hernandez was the other piece in the Miami trade. He's at 21. Jeremiah Jackson from the Angels for Leone, 22. Landon Marcoux, also from the Angels for Eduardo Escobar, 25. Like, that's almost a third of their top 30 prospects right there.
Crazy. It's just it blows my mind like the Mets just the last few years now, especially how much money that Steve Cohen spends.
Steve
It's
Cohen, he,
just
he bought prospects.
I know it's just it's mind blowing to think right now like what he just spent in the off season. You know
Yeah.
who I would love to hear on this take right now? Frank Tank. I'd love to know his
Oh, yeah.
opinion on if I mean honestly he's probably jumping for joy just because I know how
Yeah.
much I mean Danny Burgers.
It's just, I've heard this on, I think it was MLB Network yesterday. Steve Cohen is different than any other owner there is. Steve Cohen made 2 trades in the last 2 days, and he's probably going to be sending over $100 million worth of cash to Texas, the 2 Texas teams. Because if Verlander's option for 2025 hits, he's sending $93 million to the Astros with Justin Verlander. Think about that for a minute.
Just crazy to think
$93
about.
million dollars is more than like the bottom 3 payrolls combined.
He just throws his money around, dude.
That's incredible. Like, I looked up yesterday, like, just to see like what his profession is, just because I was like, where does this man get all the money from?
I hope he, if you're listening, Steve Cohen, please pay my student debt.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think Steve Cohen's listening. Let's kind of round out the NL East. The Phillies picked up Lorenzen, like we talked about. They also traded Bailey Falter for Rodolfo Castro. That one, I didn't really get that one.
That's just kind of a mid trade, honestly. I mean, because I want to say Bailey Falter wasn't pitching that well for them.
I mean, no, but he's still a young arm who definitely has upside. Like, I really like to get for the Pirates.
Yeah,
Rodolfo Castro is also the dude that got suspended for having his cell phone in his pocket. I don't know if you remember that.
does sound familiar.
And then
Lorenzen
that,
is starting tomorrow for the
oh, is
Phillies.
he?
I
Interesting.
wanted to check it. I want to say I thought it was,
They're doing a 6-man rotation until their next off day. I don't know when that is. It's honestly probably, or no, because if they play tomorrow, they won't have one. I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't surprised that they added a pitching piece. I figured they probably would.
honestly, I don't know if the Phillies make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, I think I mean, because I want to say no, but also like yes, because the Reds, I don't know. I was high on the Reds, but the Reds just I don't even know anymore. I want to root for them. I do root for them after the Tigers,
Yeah.
but the Diamondbacks, I don't know. See how because obviously they're not winning the division. Heck no. And if Miami was coming to contend as well, who knows where they're gonna fall?
Yeah.
I just don't think the Phillies, unless they, all of a sudden that lineup just gets hot, clicks with Schwarber, Castellanos, Harper, Real Muto, Trey Turner. Like if they get clicking, they can go somewhere. But
Oh yeah.
all right, what else we got? What other divisions?
Oh, we'll go on to the NL Central.
Reds
Well,
to
I
nothing.
guess with the Nationals only moved Dimer Candelario. for two of the Cubs prospects, which is where we're going to go. The Cubs added Candelario. He's going to play first base for them. They DFA Trey Mancini.
Kind of sad, but I mean, he wasn't doing much either.
Yeah, and then like we mentioned, picked up Jose Cuas for Nelson Velasquez. The Reds only picked up Sam Moll. I was absolutely stunned they didn't trade for any starting pitching.
I thought Erod could have went there.
Especially after he nixed the trade to the Dodgers. I that was my first thought. Well, it's because the Reds have the prospects to get it done. Like
Reds and prospects say whoever they want.
Exactly. I was befuddled that they just I don't know. I don't know. The Brewers added a few pieces, picked up Carlos Santana, Mark Canna, and Andrew Chafin.
Yeah, because the Brewers never spend big on anything, so I like the pieces they put on.
Yeah, I agree. The Pirates picked up an infield prospect for Santana. They traded Rich Hill and G-Man Choi to the Padres. Got back Alfonso Rivas and a couple prospects. Jackson Wolf made his big league debut for the Padres. He looks pretty solid. And then we mentioned Bailey Falter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the Cardinals, the sell-off. That's another team. Let me go look at their prospect list.
That disappointment the Cardinals were this year.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
I mean, you have Goldie, you have Arenado, you brought in Wilson Contreras, you got all those young guys.
Yeah.
And I saw Brendan Donovan's going to be out the rest of the season. He's having surgery.
Yeah. Which honestly, that kind of simplifies their position player cluster for the rest of the year. I mean, because you got rid of DeYoung, and if Donovan's out, that moves Edman back to the infield.
Yeah.
So then you can play Carlson, Nootbaar, and O'Neill all three every day and have it be just fine. The Cardinals added their number 4, number 6, 8, and 9, 22, 23, and 26 prospects from trades.
A good chunk, especially a lot in the top 10.
Yeah, especially considering 4 and 6 were both from Texas, from Montgomery and Stratton.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it could be nasty.
It's just mind blowing that the Cardinals are where they are because I mean they were supposed to be the easy winning of this division.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just and then now you got the Reds and the Brewers competing for Richmond.
I mean, don't let the Cubs get hot.
That's it. Sorry, my bad.
Held on to Bellinger and Stroman. Stroman's now injured. If the Cubs miss the playoffs, that's a huge miss by the Cubs. Worse than the Tigers not trading Erod, honestly.
Just had to go there.
It's true. It's a factual statement. Can't hide from it.
It's just such a buzzkill that I really want to know what we would have gotten for Erod. I really want to know.
Oh yeah. It'll come out eventually.
Oh, it was Bobby Miller, which probably not, but that'd been awesome.
I think it probably would have been Stone and Michael Bush, and maybe one other guy.
Cartaya, that's what I wanted.
I don't think they would give up Cartaya. I'm not sure they're sold enough on Will Smith yet to trade Cartaya.
That's fair.
Will Smith is really good. He's an all-star.
They have Dalton Rushing.
Hasn't been playing well lately. Yeah, I guess that's true. They do have Dalton Rushing. I don't know. I'm convinced that they're gonna do to those guys like they did to Kybert Ruiz and just hold on to him until he has 0 value, and then trade him for a 39-year-old starting pitcher.
I feel bad for Ruiz.
Oh yeah, so do I. I mean, he's playing well for DC though.
That's the point. He is a good player. He just never got a fair shot, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's giving me the centerpiece in Washington, though, so hopefully he can build something there. The Diamondbacks mentioned Peterson, Sewald, Strzelecki, and Pham. They also traded Andrew Chafin, which, you add Sewald, shores up, solidifies the bullpen. Then you go out and trade your closer. What?
I mean, Chafin wasn't playing well for them this year. I want to say his ERA was sub 4.
I mean, some board is still good, especially as a lefty in Arizona.
That's fair.
The Rockies, they
They
didn't
gave
really
up.
do
They
a whole lot.
just traded what they needed. I
Yeah,
thought they were getting rid of Diaz. I thought their catcher was going to go their All-Star.
yeah. Well, they
All-Star
should have.
MVP.
Yeah, All-Star MVP is right. Yeah, they definitely should have traded Diaz. There was like a lot of hits going on in the catching market. I saw Perez, or like I saw Salvador Perez. I saw Elias Diaz. I saw Joey Bart's name getting thrown around.
Jake
They only kept
Rogers, Eric Haas.
yeah, Jake Rogers. No, Eric Haas was not getting any hits because he's been bad.
Dang it.
But the only catcher that got traded was Hedges. The only one.
I was shocked when I heard Salvi, but understand it why. But also,
I
it's
was
like
gonna
he's
say,
the Royals. He's like the Royals Mickey.
yeah,
He's
he
been
is.
there.
He's the Royals captain.
Like,
Which,
uh,
from what I had seen, the only two teams that had called on Perez were the Marlins, which he lives in Miami in the offseason, and the White Sox, who he has a really good relationship with their manager because he came from Kansas City. Was like those two made sense. I didn't really think he'd get traded anyway.
yeah.
So,
Who else we got? Let's round this out.
got the Dodgers picking up Kike Hernandez, who was very, very happy to be back in Dodger Blue. Med Rosario, Lance Lynn, Joe Kelly, the infamous Pouty Lip, and Ryan Yarbrough. I like the moves for the Dodgers, especially
Yeah.
with like Hernandez and Kelly. Like they brought back guys that like they already know what they're gonna get. They're familiar
And
with
they
those
have playoff
guys.
experience. They have the
Yes.
experience. They're vets. And like it's like what LeBron does. LeBron wants guys around him who have experience for vets. Dodgers, they want to bring in guys who've had postseason experience, and
Yeah.
guys can dog it out for you and end up the season.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Lane gets hot second half. I think he figures it out in LA.
I watched Dodgers Athletics last night. Lance Lynn went 7 innings but gave up 3 home runs.
Okay,
All of
next
them were
up.
solo home runs though. All of them were solo home runs. So, I mean, the Dodgers have loaded a bunch of guys too, a bunch of prospects.
You
But
know
they
who
also
they need
loaded
back?
Syndergaard, Thompson, Brewell, Bickford, Kolarek. Who do they need back?
Winery Bay.
Yeah, well, Winery Base a little retired for that. Just got a couple teams left. Padres picked up Garrett Cooper for Ryan Weathers from Miami. We had mentioned Rich Hill, G-Man Choi from Pittsburgh, and Scott Barlow from Kansas City. And the Giants added AJ Pollock from Seattle. And other than that, just a couple minor pieces. Yeah, that kind of rounded out the deadline.
I
It was a
mean,
busy deadline, especially after 6 o'clock hit.
I mean, I won't lie. I mean, there were a lot of trades, but I was hoping for that one just blockbuster. And I don't think anything really happened then. I think the Erod trade could have been that blockbuster. I think
Oh yeah, I agree.
the Giolito trade, that honestly, that blew my mind, the prospects that they got.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, I mean, nothing really like big. Like, I mean,
Yeah, I agree. I really like what the Marlins did, honestly.
yeah, if they want to contend, it makes sense for them.
Yeah, I really like what they did. I like what the Dodgers did. I really like what the Rangers did. Um,
Max Scherzer on the Rangers is interesting. Can't wait to see
yeah,
how that rotation looks. I hope that rotation can stay healthy because I want to see the Rangers go deep in the playoffs.
well, yeah, and Eovaldi just got hurt too, so they're gonna need to get him back. But yeah, they're gonna have plenty of arms to go around once they're all healthy.
Imagine if DeGrom was so healthy, DeGrom and Scherzer.
DeGrom, Scherzer, and the year Eovaldi's having, good night. You get swept in the division series for sure.
I'd be scared to play them in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, but the team that honestly one of the teams that did the least but probably had the most impact was the Astros.
Yeah,
I mean,
Verlander.
getting Verlander back. I mean, hell, I had to watch it last night. The charge that
Did you
getting Verlander
did you
back,
watch it last night?
I did. The charge that Verlander put back into that team in that stadium was crazy. I mean, Framber Valdez threw a no hitter off that energy. Like it's what the energy
What was your
Verlander
take on
brings.
that? What was your take on that? No.
I mean, Valdez has always been good. I mean, you could just see it early on. Valdez was going to be gross the entire night. Um,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
and where
all nine
and
innings, all
and
93 pitches.
and I mean the lineup is in a bad spot right now. I mean, the clubhouse is kind of in a rough spot. It could be traded away a bunch of key clubhouse guys. So I really wasn't all that surprised. I figured it'd be rough at least for the first couple of days. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but it ended up being the case, which it is what it is. I mean, we've been
That's
no
the
hit by worse
deadline. That's how
pitchers,
the trade
so
deadline works. It's a business.
we've been no hit by worse pitchers. So
It just sucks how like MLB is just a business. I mean,
oh yeah,
it is what it is. But that's the deadline for you.
yeah.
Anything else you
Oh,
got for me?
I do want to shout out Luis Arias, man. We haven't really gotten a chance to talk about it, but Luis Arias is chasing down 200 or 400, baby. He's Luis
Do you think he
Arias
gets it?
is. I think he's got a shot. He's currently hitting 378, so we'll kind of see how it goes. Um, but I don't know. Like, I would love to see him get it, but I don't think he will.
That'd be
This
insane.
guy.
I
Oh
do have
yeah,
one more thing. I want to put on record on here. So our good friend Brody, fellow Tigers fan Brody, we have a bet in place. I have a screenshot of it and everything. I called it during the off season. Next year, Otani to the Tigers 2024. If it happens, if it were to somehow happen, he owes me my Otani Tigers jersey.
and
I'm
what
not gonna let
happens
him
when the
forget.
what happens when the Tigers don't sign Shohei Ohtani?
I don't get an Otani jersey.
Oh, he doesn't get anything.
No, because I called it and we just made the bet. That's how it is.
All right, well,
The one-sided
good
bet,
to
but
know.
basically either doesn't sign, I get nothing, or he signs and I get an Otani jersey by Brody. So
Hey man, I think he's gonna be a Met.
ooh. I was thinking Dodgers. I think
I
they didn't
think
really
you.
spend much.
I think if he doesn't stay, he's gonna be a Met. Which now, given the fact that the Mets are kind of pivoting towards 2025 and 2026, it's a less likely that they sign him. But the money is there now. Like
Yeah.
the money is there. Nah, it's all fun and games till the Angels re-sign Otani and trade for Pete Alonso. That's
All fun and games. So Donny Sand is in the show, baby.
no, it's all funny. It's all fun and games till Donny Sands gets dealt to the White Sox and Jake Burgers, both our teams every year.
Hmm. All right. On that note,
Is that a podcast?
that's a podcast, man. It's good to be back.
Now it was great to be back. That'll wrap up episode 7 of Double Barrel Action. Check out all of our other episodes on YouTube and Spotify. Check out the Hot Take Sports podcast, the parent show of this one. About to put out episode 100 here on Friday, which believe you'll see this on Thursday, so tomorrow. But yeah, check out SeatGeek. Use code HTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out Drew Siferd. Don't really have a location for where his races are going to be. He's kind of bouncing around. But Lima Land, Fremont, and Attica Raceway, one of those 3 places. Usually Clayton's the one who's got those. But yeah, check us out. YouTube, Spotify, Hot Take Sports 16 and all social media pages. And we'll see you next time.